America in 2020 by Chris and Mariana. 3 topics we chose were the coronavirus, Black Lives Matter, and the elections. Coronavirus. The coronavirus was discovered towards the end of 2019. However, it became a worldwide issue in 2020. COVID-19 is a disease that harms the respiratory system. The good cells get attacked with bits of the virus. Later on, the cell dies, and this process repeats. The coronavirus pandemic has truly changed our world. We all have many questions about when this chaos is going to end and if it will ever end. The coronavirus has affected the American economy negatively. About 2.1 million people have gotten the virus and over 140,000 people have died due to it. One of the biggest issues we are facing today is unemployment. Over 22 million people have applied for unemployment. In an article it states, unemployment rose higher in 3 months of COVID-19 than it did in 2 years of the Great Recession. Many businesses also had to close down because of the many costs and no customers. Markets, restaurants, stores, gyms, amusement parks, malls, and etc. also had their downfall. This graph shows the deaths in America from January to May due to the coronavirus. What can we do to make our situation better? It is very important to wear masks. In order to stop the spread of coronavirus, the World Health Organization made it mandatory for everyone living in the U.S. to wear masks. A face covering allows you and the people surrounding you to be safe. It is also important to do social distancing. Make sure to also not attend social gatherings. Always wash your hands and make sure not to touch your face because you can get the virus through your eyes, mouth, and nose. If you have any of the COVID-19 symptoms, make sure to quarantine for 14 days. These are things that you can do to better the situation. Do you think it is important to wear a mask? An article I read talked about how many people refuse to wear masks. Many people believe that they have a say on whether they should wear a mask covering or not. According to an article, President Donald Trump does not agree with the people who refuse to wear a face covering. It states that Trump doesn't see it as denying people their liberty. The good thing is that unity and hope will bring us together and improve our country and make us better people. Although I do not agree with wearing a mask, I do not agree with not wearing a mask, I do see their point of view. Some researchers have found that even though wearing a mask benefits us, they can also cause harm to our bodies. We all know that we breathe in oxygen and breathe out carbon dioxide. When a person wears a mask, however, the carbon dioxide stays in the mask. As we breathe it in again, it weakens and suppresses our immune system.
Presidential elections. The President of the United States controls how the nation reacts towards a crisis. The President is our representative. His actions can bring disastrous consequences, or he can improve the nation. Issues impacted by elections in 2020. Decisions made by the federal government, the executive branch, and the U.S. House and Senate tend to be on issues that will impact Americans in every state. These include international issues like trade agreements, immigration, and treaties. Campaigns worry that the year 2020 will be the most fraudulent because of online or voting by mail. The year 2020 will be an embarrassment for the United States, tweeted President Donald Trump. Recent presidential elections have included a range of issues including taxation, the national debt, education, civil rights, healthcare, and terrorism. Issues affected by the executive branch, federal issues, state issues, local issues, and joint issues. This graph represents the different variety of issues that go in account when voting for the next president. Different presidents hold different priorities. Healthcare can be one, or on the other hand, immigration control. As seen in the graph, economy is the top issue for voters in the 2020 election. Daily lifestyle changes. Important issues like abortion, healthcare, and economy can play a huge role on who the people might want to vote for in elections. After a winner takes office, lifestyle can change from drastic funds for military, or the money can be inverted into new schools and for the nation. Before a law can be passed, the president has decided to go into effect. The president controls our entire military and can decide to take the troops wherever he wants them to go. Without consent of the Senate, the President can grant foreign affairs and treaties. The President is the person that sets an example to other countries about what kind of country we are. The President controls if a law gets passed. As civilians, we have to respect laws and obey them. The economy has a lot to do with presidential elections and how they can change 2020. The idea of unemployment would mean some decrease in the economy. The military, which is connected to the economy, would lose money. The role of the president is to keep the economy stable and the military to fully fund everything they need. People must see the true intentions of a president before voting for one. Assuming he or she will keep their word, will not get the job done for people. If a president was to get killed or very ill, the vice president of the United States would assume his position temporarily or even permanently, although economy would gradually fall. Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter may be the largest movement in United States history, quotes New York Times. Black Lives Matter, also known as BLM, gives people the opportunity to stand up for their rights. What is the Black Lives Matter movement? BLM's main focus is on the following issues: racial injustice, police brutality, criminal justice reform, black immigration, economic injustice, LGBTQIA+, and human rights, environmental conditions, voting rights suppression, healthcare, government corruption, education, and common sense for gun laws. We are expansive. We are a collective of liberators who believe in an inclusive and spacious movement. We also believe that in order to win and bring as many people with us along the way, we must move beyond the narrow nationalism that is all too prevalent in black communities. We must ensure that we are building a movement that brings all of us to the front. We affirm the lives of black, queer, and trans folks, disabled folks, undocumented folks, folks with records, women, and all black lives along the gender spectrum. Our network centers those who have been marginalized with Black Liberation Movement. We are working for a world where Black Lives Matter are no longer systematically targeted for demise. We affirm our humanity, our contributions to this society, and our resilience in the face of deadly oppression.
Black Lives Matter movement in 2020. One very tragic event occurred on May 25, 2020. George Floyd, an innocent man, was killed by an officer. Many protests took place after the killing of a guiltless man. Some protests were calm, however many were not. There was a lot of looting and many businesses were burned down. It states, "A black man dies after a white officer kneeled on his neck." This is a very cruel act and definitely not right. What can we do to make our situation better? In order to better this situation, we need to stop police brutality. Here's a list of things we can do. Listen, join protests, donate to victims' families, do not dehumanize, record something that is happening and is not right, help get rid of the bad police, and help good officers speak up. Always stand for what's right. Thank you and stay safe.